We begin on Monday, March 2nd, when the moon is in the fire sign of Leo. And this is a full moon week. This is an eclipse week. This is a Mercury retrograde. And I think Jupiter's still in retrograde. So interesting times as we start off the month of March. Now, Mars, the planet of action, moves into the watery sign of Pisces on Monday, March 2nd. Now, Mars likes to move fast, and Pisces is not known for speed. So there's a little bit more of that slowing down. There's a very intuitive energy going on, and we need to pay attention to it, right? Because if we don't, why would we not want to, right? That's the way I look at it now. It's like I've used to ignore that feeling, that gut feeling, or just kind of hope it wasn't true, right? But it's there to guide us. So listen to it. It'll help us. So following your intuition, more slow movement, more gentleness, more creative energy. This is a great time to sort and sift through old paperwork. This is a great time to go through old creative projects and take some action there. Again, not really launching the projects until when we get into April, but a great time to prepare, to review all those RE themes, research, revisit, all that kind of stuff. Now, Tuesday the 3rd, the moon moves into Virgo. Well, it moved in actually the day before. So Monday the 2nd, really the moon was only in Leo until very early in the morning. Then it moved into Virgo, the analyzer. Now, remember, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So we're going to have this full moon on Tuesday the 3rd at 6:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the sun will be at 12 degrees Pisces. The moon will be at 12 degrees of Virgo. And again, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So when we look at the ruling planet is in retrograde. The sun is in Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac. So this is a great time to release some perfectionism. This is a great time to declutter your life. This is a great time to reevaluate your routines and habits. And there's a lot here about what's stressing you out. Are you at the end of your rope in some things? Are you in a job that you hate? Are you feeling the pressure? Are you feeling angry? All those things can come up during this full moon. So honor it, right? Don't just dismiss it. We have to feel our feelings. It's just what we do with them that it makes a difference, okay? So we don't want to argue. We don't want to look for trouble. This would be a great time to get to the gym or get some really good exercise in to get some of that anger out, some of that pent up energy out. Finding the balance, taking care of yourself. And this is a great time to start working on any kind of exit strategy. So if there's something that I got to get out of this job is not for me, this is the time to start preparing the exit strategy. It will be reevaluated during this Mercury retrograde. So kind of put it to the side, keep working on it so that you can move forward with it later. Now, the lunar eclipse, I guess they're going to see it out west in like California and Oregon. And I guess it makes the moon look red. Lunar eclipses are said to take something away. So here you are, offer up something that you would like to let go of. Okay, that I think it could have themes of where service. It could be that you're giving too much time to something or giving too much time to your work, and this is the time to shift it. Make your moon water. Don't forget about moon water. There's a video on YouTube on moon water if you want to listen to it about the benefits of it, how to do it. It's very simple. Just grab a mason jar, put some water in it, put it in the window, let it get charged up a couple days before this full moon, a couple days after. I like to drink it. And really think about, maybe you write down the things that you are ready to release. And this can also just be emotions and feelings. Take advantage of the art of moon water. Now, Wednesday the 4th, the moon will be in Virgo until a little after lunch when it moves into the harmonious sign of Libra, sign of balance, a Venus-ruled sign. Then as we move into the 5th, Thursday the 5th, we have the Sun trine Jupiter. Now, this is lovely anytime we have Jupiter involved, and opportunities can present themselves. sunshine Jupiter. The sun is going to shine light on Jupiter, which is a planet considered to be a planet of luck and blessings and opportunity. It's hanging out in the watery sign of Cancer. The sun is hanging out in the watery sign of Pisces. So we may have some really great creative hits. We may see, what we can do with our creative energy. No major decisions till mid-April, but opportunities may present themselves. So enjoy that. Now on the 6th, so remember, we're going to move into a Scorpio weekend here, which I kind of find exciting. Now Venus moves into Aries on the 6th. And so Venus is moving out of the watery romantic sign of Pisces, and it's moving into the sign of Aries, and it doesn't do as well in Aries. I think it's considered its detriment there. So be a little careful. Don't jump right into things. We have a lot of Pisces fogginess. Don't jump into major decisions about finances or about love. Be confident, stand tall. I always tell people who have Venus in Aries, if they're single, don't be afraid to make the first move, right? There's a little bit kind of that ambitious energy, that forward energy. But Venus, it's not its best spot. So as much as I want you to be confident and stand tall and don't back down, I want you to also be careful about what you agree to. So sometimes there can be a lot of envy in the air when there's Venus in the sign of Aries. So the moon moves into Scorpio on Friday night, and then we will be there all weekend in Scorpio. Now, we're already coming off this full moon, and it was a Virgo full moon. And Virgo is very detailed and analytical, and Scorpio to me is that times a million. So be careful you're not nitpicking. Be careful that you're not fixating on things too hard. But there's a lot of intuitive energy that can come up, and there's a lot that old stuff that might surface because you're trying to release stuff. Okay. Now we have on the 7th, Venus is going to do a few things. It's going to, and over the 7th through the 10th, it's going to come together with Neptune, Venus in conjunct Neptune. I have that in my chart. It's called an affliction. Okay. It's called an affliction because it can fog things and make it not clear in love and in finances. So you have to be careful if you think, you have it all figured out. Remember, we're in the Mercury retrograde, and then Venus is there with foggy Neptune. Then Venus is going to be conjunct Saturn, which is going to bring in the responsibility. But that can bring in some financial gain. Then Venus is going to be sextile Pluto. And so that can bring in an intensity also. I wrote down fantasy, reality, truths. Venus conjunct Neptune, fantasy. Venus conjunct Saturn, reality. Venus sextile Pluto, truths. All right. So be aware of that Venus energy going on. 3/7, Saturday. There's a lot going on 3/7. So Mercury is going to be Cazimi. And Mercury's retrograde. So Cazimi means that it's in the heart of the sun. So there's going to be a lot there. Mercury, very social, likes to talk a lot. And it's going to be Cazimi in the heart of the sun, but it's going to be retrograde. So with Mercury in the sign of Pisces, in the heart of the sun in Pisces, and it's hanging out close to the north node of the moon, which means that the south node of the moon is going to be opposite, and the south node is the past. So with this transit, sometimes we will see that people from the past show up. This can bring in exes or old people that maybe you worked for. And so these people may show up. And the question is will you make the same mistake again? So be careful with that. It's Mercury retrograde, so you may get a couple chances with this, but pay attention also to just the old feelings coming up. Okay. So it might not even be a literal person, but it could be the memory of them. Now I have some bunch of notes on the 7th here. What did I write? I wrote stuff about it being opposite the past life point, which we talked about. There's a lot of mental clarity because it's Mercury. And Scorpio, which we talked about, has such great precision. But Scorpio wants to bring in transformation and new beginnings. So there is a chance here with these people showing up from the past or just feeling showing up from the past that you will be able to transform it. Okay. Just be aware of the mistakes that you made last time and how you can do it differently this time. You will have into Sunday the 8th with the moon continuing to be in the deep water sign of Scorpio. I hope that you get to sleep in. Water signs love rest and relaxation. And most of Connecticut right now is snowed in anyways, right? So why don't you get a chance to sleep in there on Sunday the 8th, even if it's just for a few extra minutes. Daylight savings time begins that day. So let's see, we'll be springing ahead. All right, might be a little bit harder to sleep in, but you get my point. Just get some rest and take good care of yourself. Let's pull some cards for this week, this big Virgo full moon week, this lunar eclipse week, this first full week of the Mercury retrograde. And I'm traveling, so I only have this one deck with me right now. I believe it's the Green Witch, and I really like it. It's very herbal, very Celtic. And let's see what we've got going on. I wish I brought my Ostara deck because there is that pagan holiday of Ostara this month, but I didn't think ahead. All right, so here we go. Here's your 3 theme cards for the week. And your first one is the Queen of Swords, called the Queen of Athens in this deck. Now, she's an air queen. She would be considered an air sign. The point being is there's a lot of precision, and the Queen of Swords isn't necessarily warm and fuzzy. She's very to the point. She's down to business. And I've heard her called the Widow Queen or the businesswoman queen. Okay, so she is cutting her irises here. She's trimming off probably the dead flower. She's arranging something beautiful for herself. And she's really not to be messed with. Okay, so when these people come up from the past this week, or these ideas come up from the past, and you've got all this energy about releasing and decluttering, and I want you to stick to your boundaries because she is the queen of boundaries also. And I don't want you to feel bad about your boundaries, okay? Because we all need a certain amount of them. She's also the queen of communications. This is a good time to go through those old projects. It's a great time to be writing, especially as Mercury's Cazimi this week, the sun. We've got the moon card here. And to me, I always think of the moon. I think in astrology, the moon is associated with the sign Cancer. In tarot, the moon is associated with the sign Pisces. So either way, you've got watery energy here. I think of this card as your subconscious mind, your memory, right? Like your memory that's been handed down many lifetimes. That's the moon. We see a full moon there in the picture. It's lighting the way, it's reflecting in the water. And so you may have intense dreams. You may have a lot of things coming up to the surface. Maybe they don't all make sense to you, but please write them down. You also got the 7 of Wands. And this is an interesting version of the 7 of Wands. The bird that was in the background on the Queen of Swords is now in the window here on the 7 of Wands. And so you've got kind of this little companion here, keeping an eye out on you. Now, 7 of Wands, I can't tell if she's putting those wands up there or if she's taking them down, okay? But whatever it is, it's on display. The 7 of Wands is usually about there being a lot going on. But to me here, she's very proud of it. She wants to show it off. And it's something of value and something of beauty to her. So be proud of your accomplishments. Be proud of how far you've come, the healing that you've done. Don't be afraid to share that with other people. But also, again, to make the boundary very strong about what works for you and what doesn't work for you.